Because last episode we were talking about some of our favorite Fantastic Four villains. We were talking about Pace Pot Pete. And I've told you this before, but one of my favorite Captain America moments in comics is when he fought Pace Pot Pete.
Yeah.
And Captain America lured or tracked him to his secret base. And Pace Pot Pete to put his super glue all over the floor, his impossible adhesive X. And Captain America's like, well, I'll have to jump over all this glue. And he jumps up and he jumps on the pipe and he holds onto the pipe. And Pace Pot Pete's like, ha ha! Star Spangled Avenger, I've got you now. I put glue on that pipe. So Captain America goes, you did. You got me, Pace Pot Pete. And then he breaks the pipe off the ceiling and then proceeds to beat Pace Pot Pete with the pipe that is now glued to his hands. Which...
Joke's on you, huh?
He did not think this through. He glued a weapon into Captain America's hand.
It's getting me. He's like, no fair, wait,
I didn't perceive this. Shit. Also, Captain America wears gloves, dude. He could just take his gloves off. He was not doing. Super villains. They're not.
Well, maybe because his gloves, his hands are stuck in that position, holding it, he can't release.
Maybe.
Yeah, so maybe that's. So how'd they get it off at the end?
I don't think so. I think Captain America ended up just using a pipe for 5 years until Stark had to cut it off with a repulsor ray or something. Okay. Welcome to Recovering Sidekicks, our weekly comic book review podcast where we talk about single issues, graphic novels, and
trade paperbacks.
It's trade paperbacks.
Yes, I got it.
Oh man, we had to shout at you while you were sleeping for a month straight.
Yeah, 2 more episodes, I'll forget again.
Oh yeah, give it you a second. It is April, and it is Fantastic Four month.
Woo! Fantastic Four, yes!
Everyone loves the Fantastic Four, not really.
Everybody!
But I think everyone should love the Fantastic Four.
Yes.
Actually, great comic series.
Who doesn't love a superhero who can build a time machine out of a Nintendo system? I mean, who doesn't love that superhero?
That
right?
That is good stuff. Good old Reed Richards.
That's right.
So, John, you talked about Fantastic Four verse the first time they fought the Salem 7. I'm going to go back even a little bit further. To 1963, where the Fantastic Four fought another one of their underrated villains, the Hate Monger.
Ooh, the Hate Monger. He was the guy who dresses like a Klansman.
Yep, he looks just like a Klansman. He wears
only in stylish purple or something.
Yeah, in stylish purple, and it's got some green sleeves.
Yes. I think what they call that today is he's the head of the clan when they wear the purple robes.
What are they called? Like the Dragon Master, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think that's what he's called. Yeah.
Dragon Clan Master. I don't remember.
Well,
they
wait a minute.
Wear red, right?
That's totally wrong, man. Because the Ku Klux Klan is not about hate. It's just about white power.
Yeah,
it's not about hate at all.
It's just white and pride and
it's not hate. So the fact that the hate monger, that's just totally wrong.
Such a Nazi, those guys. Why don't we lead a front on bringing those dudes down, huh? We should really make an effort towards that.
To bring them down?
Yeah, making sure the white supremacists.
Because unfortunately, the truth is
they vote a lot.
They're really well. No, unfortunately, the problem is it's kind of like picking on a mentally challenged person. You don't want to do that. When a mentally challenged person calls a woman a dame, you don't really you don't want to correct it. Same thing.
They just don't know any better.
Yeah, they don't know any better.
There's just so many of them.
Slow, yeah.
So, this issue of classic issue written by good old Stan Lee and drawn by Jack Kirby opens up...
Jack King Kirby.
Jack King Kirby, that's right. Opens up with Reed is messing with his tide scope measuring device. I love when Stan Lee makes up science. That's good stuff.
What is it called?
It's the tide scope measuring device.
Tide scope.
I think he's inventing Tide, the detergent.
I was just going to say,
he's analyzing it. He's like, how does it get all those stains out of white? I don't know. I must get to the bottom of this. Also, need to figure out what the negative zone's all about.
Oh, yeah.
He's working on that.
Because one of my favorite things is the negative
zone. It's the best.
I don't know if you may call it that last episode, but I love the negative zone.
I think you love the negative zone as much as you love when the Fantastic Four goes to Planet Zero.
What's Planet Zero?
Planet Zero is the place they went to in the live-action movie, the last one. Just as dumb.
Yeah.
Well, while he's working on that, it cuts to Johnny, and Johnny's throwing flaming darts, because this is the 60s, and they didn't really have it kind of down-packed what everyone's powers were.
Right.
So in these issues, the Human Torch can make things out of fire and throw
Right.
stuff. So he's throwing flaming darts at a picture of at the picture of Spider-Man.
Oh, because that's always that's a running joke. They're friends, but they give each other a hard time all the time. Yeah, right.
So he's doing that. Well, this is the 60s. So what do you think Sue's doing?
She's cooking.
That's pretty close. Pretty close.
She's folding laundry.
Yeah. She's not folding laundry. She's trying on clothes and putting on wigs. And she's looking at herself because that's all she does all day. She's just like, what do I look like in this?
Yes. My how times have changed.
Yeah. This is the 60s. It was a different time, guys. And they're all interrupted in their various activities. Like, what's that loud noise? And they go, it's coming from Ben's quarters. And they show Ben Grimm, and he is punching a giant titanium punching bag that he constructed. And because he's angry. Ben Grimm, the Thing, is angry. He's just punching away at this metal punching bag, and it's throwing, like, the whole Baxter building's shaking.
Oh, wow. So he's like, Ben Grimm gets strong.
He's like real pissed off. And they're like, Ben, you're shaking up the whole house. What are you doing? He's like, I gotta let some steam off. I'm just so worked up. And tell me if this doesn't sound a little bit familiar. They're like, Ben, what's wrong? You're smashing that steel punching bag as though you're trying to punch it through the building. So what? I'm so cotton picking, man. I gotta do something to let off some steam. I've been reading the papers for the last hour. It's enough to make anyone blow his top. And if I still gotta spell it out for you, just take a squint at some of those headlines. And Hatemonger causes mob to riot in city. And it's the Thing was reading about this guy named the Hatemonger who's stirring up a lot of rallies. Angry mobs.
Oh, wow.
Jeez, this sure sounds familiar.
Yeah, this is the 60s.
This is the 60s. Right. 63. Reed talking. A creep like the Hatemonger is free to say what he wants to, but if I ever wumped, I would. Oh, the Thing says this. I would like to wump him one. They'd slap me in the pokey. How about that? He just wants to punch that guy in the face, but they put him in jail.
There's just something not right about him saying that, though.
Yeah.
I want to wump him, and they'll slam me in the pokey.
Pokey, yeah, right?
What?
Don't put me in the pokey. It sounds dirty, though. Yeah. But, so they're like, well, why don't we all go out for a walk? And, so they all go outside, and lo and behold, they see the Hatemonger has his own rally out there. They're all standing up, and his new political party, they're all holding, like, torches up in the sky. And he's all, down with the government and down with this and blah, blah, blah. And you have Reed's like, oh man, what's he doing? He's spewing bigotry against races, religion, our government, blah, blah, blah. It's like, man, it sounds real topical, this issue, I say.
I'm waiting for you to say, and then the Hatemonger starts talking about he wants to build a wall. You know?
Okay, not joking. This is what happens next. We must drive out all the foreigners back to where they came from. They must show no mercy to those who we hate. And then cuts to a large group of the rally members are throwing bricks and bottles at a bunch of foreigners. And they're screaming, the Hatemonger's right, kick out the foreigners, kick all the neighborhood, kick them out of our neighborhood, blah, blah, blah. And you have the foreigners screaming, no, help, stop, I'm a citizen just as you. You're all mad.
Well, they are mad. That's why they're trying to kick him out. They're pissed off.
They're real mad. So Ben loses his shit. He's like, "Fuck this!" and he just kicks their stand that all the Hatemonger people are standing on, right. And it just like levels it, and they all fall, and they all get buried under all this rubble. Got a little far there, Ben. Like, I
was sitting there thinking, I was like, waiting for you to say it's a joke, but really?
No, yeah, Ben just like, he almost attempted murder on
us. Like, you just killed them, they're racist, that's wrong.
It's yeah, like, they're racist, but you can't, they're gonna throw you in the pokey, like, Ben.
Hey, don't you use violence on, I'll show you what it's like to use violence on foreigners. That teaches you a lesson.
Yeah. Don't use a big stick, especially, but I have a bigger stick, so it's fine.
Right.
And I love Reed's response. It's good old Benjamin, he beats us to it. There he goes, just whacking those Hatemongers. All right. So the Hatemonger reacts quick. He gets out of the rubble and he's like, "Well, I know what to do." And he pulls out a beam, a little ray gun, and he zaps the Fantastic Four, and he hits them with his hate ray. 60s.
The hate ray, yes.
And instantly,
That would be called political rhetoric now.
yeah, political rhetoric. That's good. I'll hit him with my political rhetoric. And instantly Ben is like, "Oh, Reed, get off my back! You're always telling me what to do." Sue's like, "Hey, you guys always make fun of me when I'm trying my wigs on." And Johnny's like, "I'm just flaming, and that's it. That's all I got. I'm angry too." So they all start fighting each other like the Fantastic Four does. Reed tries to tie up Ben, and Sue ends up turning invisible and throwing a bucket of water on her brother, and you know hijinks ensues.
Right.
And they're like,
your brother.
He's like, "Oh, you are clearly the most powerful member of the team."
She doesn't use her power. She just throws water on him.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like the most dangerous member of the team. So she's like, "I'm just gonna throw a bucket on your head."
Okay.
And they're like, "You know what? F this. We're done as a team. Fantastic Four, no more." Of course, this is just like the first year that they're the team, but
Right.
but this is possibly the last issue of the Fantastic Four. Well, I don't know.
Course.
Where is this gonna go? So they all break up. Screw you, guys. They all go their separate ways. Reed goes back to the Baxter
Can I
building.
say something real quick though?
Yeah.
So they start fighting and they say, "Well, we're done." This hate Michael's standing there going, "No, you hit him."
Yeah.
No, you hit him now. Okay, your turn.
Oh, he called your mom something. Okay, that's all he's doing.
Okay.
Which is funny is like while they're fighting, like there's not like a shot of like the hate monger and his group like, let's get the fuck out of here. Like, like they're distracted. Like no, I picture that they're all under the rubble still and they can't move. They're just like, someone call the fire department. I'm trapped.
Or he's just walking down the street like Peter Parker, and he's just like, "Ah, la, la,"
Yeah.
and you just keep on.
I'd like to picture like the hate monger like he like throws on a coat and then he just puts a hat, but he's still wearing the mask. Like that's like his disguise. He's like, now I'll just disappear in the crowd. So Reed heads back to the Baxter building. He's like, well, I'm gonna play with my Tidoscope, whatever majig, science. He goes back and his good old war buddy is sitting there. He's like, hey, Reed, and who's there? It's Nick Fury, who just got promoted to colonel.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, no kidding. I guess they back in the day when they were both howling commandos, because Reed fought in World War II.
You did?
Yeah.
I did not know that. That's
It's the
new to me.
60s, man.
Oh,
Everybody's World War II
As a
fighters.
Fantastic Four fan, I'm totally shocked that he.
Yeah.
What was he in World War II? A soldier or a pilot? Or
I guess he was a soldier, but he probably used his brains to unscramble.
to get out of fighting?
Yeah. He's like, you guys keep firing. I'll figure out a way to hack their thingamajig or something.
Right.
We all use my Tidoscope to figure out what those
I
Nazis
can
are
tell by
doing.
the trajectory, you people in the front row are all.
You're all getting shot. Using my brilliant mind, I've deduced getting shot is not good.
Right.
But you have which is also kind of funny. Is like Reed walks in and like I guess the Baxter building has security and a bunch of security guards are beaten up. And he's like, "What happened here?" And you have Nick Fury sitting at a table. He's like, "Your security guards gave me a hard time, so I beat the shit out of them." Reed, how you doing? Like, how do you get? What kind of logic is that? It's like if I showed up and you weren't home yet, and it was just me and your wife, and I was like, and she gives me a hard time, I'm like, I'm gonna beat her up and wait for you to come home, John.
Wait, is Nick Fury working with a hate monger too?
I guess he's not. He's just an angry dude. So you got Nick Fury, and what's puzzling about this issue is guess how many eyes Nick Fury has?
3.
He has 3. No, he has 2. He has both eyes still.
Still both eyes. Okay.
Still both eyes. He hasn't had his horrible sparkler accident.
Right. Okay.
I don't read a lot of Nick Fury, but I'm assuming that's what happened. Or he had a bottle rocket,
Yeah.
and he got drunk one 4th of July.
He just said, "Watch what I can do, Reed. You know, if you put that in your mouth and you aim it high, you're right, Reed. Let's try it." I was like, "All right,
All Reed's best friends are horribly scarred.
right. Let's try experiments."
It's also kind of funny to watch Reed Richards using his stretching ability to light a match to light a cigar for Nick Fury. It's just like smoking.
Right.
It's the 60s. Everyone likes smoking. But Nick Fury's there. He's like, I need the Fantastic Four's help because in, was it San fake Spanish country? Damn it. It's like oh shoot, what is it? Made up fake Spanish South American country. Well, yeah, he's like, there's a small South American country, and there's a right-wing political party that's rising up and is overthrowing the government there. We need the Fantastic Four's help to stop them. And I figured, since you're my old war buddy, I could use you. And he's like, well, the Fantastic Four are done, because Ben's a big stupid head, and Johnny's stupid too, and so is Sue, even though I'm engaged to her, I think, at this time. No.
I don't know where they are.
But I'll go by myself, because I'm Reed Richards. I can do everything by myself. I have a tidescope. So he goes by himself.
And this is how Colonel he loses his eye, right? You just go by yourself? Yeah, trust me. Okay, I'll trust you, Reed. We're buddies.
we're gonna be fine. He goes with my eye. That should be the next page. It's like, well, let's go off. And they get inside the Fantastic Four.
This would happen if we had Sue here.
I thought you had invisible force fields. That's only Sue's power. Damn it!
And then you just see them running. Then what are we doing here?
It's a terrible idea. So Reed and Nick get on the plane. They go up to. They use the pogo. No. Reed by himself goes on the pogo plane.
Right.
Up to the San Fake country. And the other Fantastic Four members see this. They're like, oh, Reed's leaving us behind. That jerk. We better find out where he's going and then follow him there because we gotta tell him what a jerk he is. So they all go.
We're not just gonna wait there, huh?
Yeah, they all go to the Baxter Building and Nick Fury's still there, smoking in their house. They're like, what are you doing here? And he's like, I'm here I gave Reed a mission because he's the best member of the Fantastic Four. And they're like, well, we're the better members of the Fantastic Four. Well, we're going to go there and show you how much better members we are. Clearly, when you're hit with the hate ray, you're also slightly retarded.
Okay.
So they all also go to the same country to stop this government attack. But guess who's leading this political coup in this?
The hate monger.
The hate monger.
So he goes to the same country?
Yeah. I don't know.
He turns around and he's like, son of a bitch, they're following me.
Yeah, they're all over the place.
What the hell?
So he's using his hate ray on people there too to try to overthrow the government. Reed shows up. It was kind of crazy.
Wait, why the Southern? He was just in the United States, right? Why would he try to take over the...
He's got his claws and everything.
Oh, right.
You would think a guy who just stands on the corner going, the minorities suck! You wouldn't expect him to actually leading a government, like, a small government overthrow in another country.
Well, why would he go to another... Yeah, why would he... The minorities suck! But hey, I'm gonna go to this country with minorities and take over their country.
You know how he's able to do that, though?
How's that?
It's because he's got an underground submarine that trapped...
Seriously?
Yeah, it's the 60s.
Oh, okay.
Because it's science.
I just picture him getting down there, getting down the submarine, and they're all like, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo-doo. Let's go, cats!
They all have the hate monger clothes on. That's good stuff. So Reed shows up. He stops the hostile takeover. He gets captured though, and then it's the reveal that the hate monger is the man behind this whole thing. And the hate monger here too. Crazy. That's some wild stuff, as they say in the 60s.
Did they actually? They would probably they'd be like, "Esta loca!" Right?
Hey, yo, amigo. But whatchamacallit, because he's under the hate monger spell, Reed can't move. Okay. The hate monger tells his spine, he's like, using my hate ray, I've built my hate ray here in San Fake country, and I used it on the people here, and I overthrew the government, and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna expand my forces, take over the U.S. government, and everything's gonna be great for the hate monger. I'll be the only person who's not hit by the hate ray, and I'll be on top. I'll be Mr. Head Honcho Hate Monger. Reed can't move. He's like, I gotta stop him, but I can't because I'm filled with so much hate. And Nick Fury bursts into the scene using his only superpower, machine gunning the fuck out of people. And he just, like, Reed's all like, I'll punch this guy and tie him up with my arm. Nick Fury's like, machine gun, just like blows everybody down. Pretty brutal. And he's like, I'll stop you, hate monger. And he steals the antidote for the hate ray and he gives it to Reed. And Reed's like, man, I've been acting so wild. I gotta help the other Fantastic Four. Gives the antidote to the other Fantastic Four after.
Man, what have they been doing this whole time?
They've been just wandering around in the forest. It's the jungle, man. They're like, we're gonna tell Reed. Where are we? Where are we?
Danny Storm can fly. Why does he fly up and be like, hey?
Well, there's so much trees, and he just he didn't want to burn down the forest. Okay. You know, it's he's filled with hate.
I see some holes in this plot, but okay, whatever.
It's the 16th. Yeah, well, they arrive, I guess, and then Reed shows up and he gets in the serum after beating him up a little bit, just a little bit. And they're like, "Geez, Reed, I'm so sorry that I hate you, that I hated you so much, but we got to stop the hate monger." So they go in, they battle the hate monger. And in the scuffle, the hate monger accidentally shoots some of his henchmen, and they get filled with so much hate that they pull guns out and they shoot and kill the hate monger.
Oh, because they hated him.
Yeah, they hated him so much.
Okay.
And at that moment, they unmask the hate monger, and it's no one You wouldn't expect this. What a twist. It's not Farmer Jenkins or the butler. It is Adolf Hitler.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah, it's totally Adolf Hitler.
Like his clone, or what?
They all, their actual response is, I think the Human Torch goes, I thought he died. And they're like, well, that could Adolf Hitler did have many duplicates. So maybe the duplicate died in World War II, and this is the real one that survived. Or maybe this one himself is the duplicate. We'll never know. But what we will know is that the reign of the hate monger is finally over.
Not if there's more duplicates roaming around.
That's true. I like the fact that he does have the mustache, though.
He's still wearing the same mustache?
He still has the same mustache. If you want to look at that page.
Wow, okay.
So, I think this is actually a pretty good metaphor, is that despite how civilized we think we are, bigotry can rise up, and another dictator like Adolf Hitler could rise to power very easily. Not something I'm saying politically happening currently in the United States whatsoever. Trump. But I thought, like, reading this issue, I was like, this is kind of a silly, wacky issue, but it also kind of says something a little heavier than I thought it was going to be. It was actually kind of very poignant.
Actually, yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Did they ever bring the hate monger back?
I think he comes up once in a while, and I think it's still a clone. Actually, technically, I think that later they kind of retcon it and make it an actual clone of Hitler.
Really?
Yeah.
I love the fact that it's the 60s and he's still wearing the same mustache.
Yeah.
Like, he never changes the way he looked. Okay.
Good stuff. I mean, like, his henchmen even have, like, the little red bands on their arms. Like, that says Nazi right there. Oh, the hate monger.
Ugh.
Which, his hate ray was developed by Nazi scientists. Must have been one of the last things they...
Oh, that totally makes sense, actually.
Totally makes sense.
I totally get it. Alright. So this whole time they've been fighting the Nazis.
Yep.
So I'm confused though. Did Nick Fury not realize this was the Nazis? I mean,
I don't think he did. I think he was too busy just shooting people. He was just like so excited to be like later he found out, I was like, oh my god, I was shooting Nazis again?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why it felt so good.
You missed out, Steve.
Yeah, I know, right? Good old days.
All right.
Well, you know.
Actually, it's a pretty good issue though. It's a pretty good.
Yeah, it's a pretty good little comic, a little pretty heavy idea. I love the part where they see the pogo plane fly off, and what do you think Sue's doing this time? She left the Fantastic Four.
She's. I have no idea.
She's getting fitted for another dress.
Of course she is.
Yeah.
Wow. There was no sexism at all like that.
No sexism whatsoever. So even though this was a story preaching tolerance and acceptance of foreigners and immigrants, kind of sexist still.
Yeah.
But hey, you know, Stan Lee's heart was in the right place, so let's give him points for that, eh?
Yeah. All right. That sounds good. Sure.
So who knew? One of the greatest enemies of the Fantastic Four was Adolf Hitler.
Yeah, that's amazing. I still want to know when he loses his eye.
I think that was a backup issue, like the next, or maybe it happened in between the panels.
Right. Yeah.
Like they're like he's like walking, he just like walks into a wall. He's like, God damn it, my eye! Ah!
Oh, I'm glad I didn't get killed by all those bullets I was shooting all this stuff. And he's like, now let's have some steak. Oh my god, I put myself.
Oh, damn it! Oh, he's just I have an itch in my eye. I think it's an infection.
Right.
Oh no, my eye!
Yeah.
There you go. The history of Nick Fury's eye damage. There you go.
Do
you think maybe he didn't even lose an eye? He just did that to be like cool.
It could be. Yeah. Look how cool I am.
Like they show up and they're like, wasn't the eye patch on the other? No, I was looking in a mirror.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
That was probably a life model.
I thought too though that Nick Fury becomes a colonel in a Fantastic Four comic.
Yeah. Right.
You know, I mean, well, yeah, right. I mean, that's kind of cool, really, right? The first time they call him Colonel Fury, right?
Yeah. Got the promotion.
Wow.
Pretty crazy that Nick Fury's been around. It's such an integral part of like every Marvel character, pretty much. Like Shield.
I'm surprised they didn't say that. He didn't tell him, "Hey, Reed, I can't believe you're gonna do it by yourself, but remember, I got both my eyes on you."
Oh,
and then Reed could have said, "You know, if you lose an eye, that joke won't work."
Yeah,
and
totally.
say, I bet it still works.
I bet you it still works amazing. It's so good.
Yeah. All right. Well, cool. Well, thank you, David.
No problem. I love looking at.
How hard do you think it is to find that issue?
Woohoo! It's old.
Is it
So it's Fantastic Four Volume 1, issue number 21. So it's pretty old, 1963.
It'll be tough to find that yet.
So yeah, I would just recommend maybe getting one of the essential collections where you get a black and white. The copy I have, the one I'm holding here that you can tell is old. It's actually a reprint of the issue. It's I have Marvel Collector's Item issue 15, which is a reprint of a couple classic Marvel stories.
Okay.
It has a little issue with Doctor Strange, Iron Man fighting the Mandarin, or you say Mandarin? What do you say?
I say Mandarin.
Yeah, me too. Oh, this is the Mandarin where
So the Mandarin's sitting there and he's like, it's not my fault, Iron Man. I just wanted to take over the world because I wanted the money.
Come on.
I have a boat. Do you want a boat? I can give you a boat.
Exactly. That's totally how that's what originally was the character.
Right.
Of course. But yeah, this was just a reprint. This actual reprint comes from 1968. So you can probably track down this reprint.
So like,
but
the original comic was what, the 60-something?
63. This reprint is 68.
A couple years later because
Yeah.
it was such a great issue. Like,
It's a classic story. They say Stanley said so.
5 years later, it was like, it's a classic now. It's only
Yeah.
5 years. It's classic. It's a classic. I said,
It's like the band you liked 5 years ago releasing your greatest hits album. You're like,
Right.
guys, you're still on tour.
What
You're
happened?
fine.
It's the greatest. That's why it's the greatest. All right, sure.
Well, do you think the hate mongers should ever make it into the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Technically, I guess Fox owns the hate monger, so they then own the rights to Adolf Hitler, possibly fighting the next Fantastic Four.
Would it work? In all seriousness, would it work? Like a clone of Hitler? Would it work? Or would you think it'd be too goofy?
That would be so goofy.
It would be so goofy, yeah.
Would I want to see it? Oh, I would. It would be so crazy.
I mean, you couldn't say it's actually Hitler. You'd have to say it was a clone with nowadays our technology. I cloned Hitler. But, yeah, it'd be really strange.
Can you picture that big reveal, too, where they go into like the bottom bunker of the hate monger's base and Reed flips on the lights and there's just giant vats in glass containers of Hitler's being grown.
Right, yeah.
And they all have the mustache and the parted hair. And they're all frustrated artists.
As our kids are all walking with a goose step.
Yeah.
These little kids marching along.
Richard, are you a Jew?
Right.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah. I want to go skiing in the Alps.
Do you want to buy a painting? No? I will be a dictator then!
So do you think the Fantastic Four, I mean, is it weird to see Fantastic Four fight, like, political fights? Because they're so famous for doing sci-fi stuff. Is it weird that they do political fights and stuff? Is it, like, out of their league kind of thing? Like, Every once in a while you'll see, like, a joke where Johnny Storm or Ben Grimm stops a purse snatcher or something, because they just happen to be there.
Yeah.
But but they do it, like, as a side joke, you know? It's like, they run into the thing and he's like, I hope you're not stealing that purse, or whatever, you know?
I also feel this is kind of a weird thing that they send the Fantastic Four to do a military operation.
Yeah, it seems really weird. So, yeah,
So I think this feels like it's early '60s, so they didn't really know what exactly they're doing with all these characters.
Right.
So yeah, they're like, we'll do this because it seems more of like a Captain America story.
I'll tell you what it sounds like. It sounds like Captain America story or a Wolverine story. Because didn't he fight with everybody too during World War II? Because I'm surprised they didn't just bring everybody back.
Yeah.
You know, him sitting there, Fury saying, "Hey, Reed, remember when we fought World War II? Well, I need you to go on a mission. I tried to get Steve, but he's busy. I tried to get Logan, he's busy. You know, so you're on the list. You're third on the list.
Yeah.
So.
Aw, come on. I did a lot of good hiding in World War II.
Right. It was my idea to figure out the trajectory of stuff. So.
Yeah. Did a good job. My tidoscope.
Yeah.
But yeah. Good old Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four, yes. Fighting.
Is there any historical figures you'd like to see the Fantastic Four fight? Stalin? Gorbachev?
He'd be like Doom. He'd be cool. They could charge Stalin and be fighting Doom. They go into his country.
Why doesn't Hitler show up in more comic books, I say?
Yeah.
You can always hit me up on
Who would they fight today if they do that like a political story today?
Trump.
Trump, you think?
Holy Trump.
Oh,
Trump, Putin. Putin's super villain now.
He is super villain.
It's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah, but he hasn't done anything really evil though. I mean, besides hacking our computers and stuff, right?
Oh no! You hear what he does in like actual Russia?
No. What happened?
All of his all the journalists that opposed him have mysteriously died.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the one guy got poisoned or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's all messed up now, his face and stuff.
Pretty crazy. Was it what's the North Korea guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, they'd fight that guy. Yeah, there you go.
It's kind of cool that we don't get this anymore, but it's also kind of sad we don't get this anymore. Like,
yeah, they don't want to piss people off and stuff. So
because you got to sell these books, but you don't want to piss anybody off. But it's kind of like crazy to see, like, oh, what if you did that? What if you had an issue where Captain America flat out punched Trump or something?
Yeah, that's not
what a political statement that would be if you put that on a cover.
Oh
now.
my God, that'll never happen. That'll never happen.
I'm totally gonna draw that now, but you're not gonna.
You know that famous drawing of Captain America punched Hitler? Be the same thing, only now he's punching Trump.
And have
his hair flapping like that.
Yeah,
too, just like
Kellyanne Conway like in the corner, like Sean Spicer in the background. No, that'd be good.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, it's a shame. Would you like more superheroes punching political figures?
Yeah, why not? That'd be fun.
That'd be good. Bring that back. Come on, Marvel, hop on that. You can always hit me up on Twitter. I am at Exploited Geek.
I am Lucky Pueblo.
And you can always send us a message at our website, storymechanicscast@gmail.com. You can always hit Recovering Sidekicks, scroll down, hit our comment section right there.
Yep. We're also, Story Mechanics is also on Twitter.
We are on Twitter.
Yeah. So follow us on Twitter. You can do it. Did you set our Facebook page already?
No, I did not. Story Mechanics podcast on Facebook.
Yep. You'll see lots more hijinks and pictures and stuff of us.
Exactly. And you could also go to, or you can always send us a message on our good old-fashioned Gmail at storymechanicscast@gmail.com. If you have any other comic books you want us to talk about, or another theme for a month you would like us to do.
Yeah.
So we're just trying this one out. I like the Fantastic Four idea. That's pretty good.
I like the Fantastic Four,
So once Spider-Man comes around, John has a lot of good comic books to talk about in Spider-Man month.
Yes, I do. I can't wait for Venom the movie to come out.
Yes, we're going to talk nothing but Venom for like a year.
Absolutely, yes, that's right.
We didn't do a Logan one because I just don't have any Wolverine stories I want to talk about. It's Wolverine.
Well, remember that time when Wolverine fought that guy back in Nazi Germany? And then he fought that other guy in Samurai Japan.
Yeah.
And he fought that other guy in Canada. You know, and
Puck.
Yeah.
Good old Canada.
Yeah. Canada, eh?
Yeah, Canada. Yep. Good old syrup. All right.
Yeah.
So tune in next week. Another episode of Fantastic Four. What are we going to talk about?
Probably something Fantastic Four.
Yeah. Probably.
Yes.
But what characters will they fight? What adventure? What journey will they go through?
Will they go to a pocket universe, or will they go to outer space? Or will they get into the center of the Earth? They do that a lot too.
Or will the Thing just attack another political rally?
Yeah. Just hey,
you're being racist. Ah!
You can't use violence. Let me stop one, everybody.
I'll show you violence.
And Reed was just like, "Good job, man! Yay!"
Which is funny is like everyone should have been like, everyone was under the hate raid. They're all victims. Oh, we killed them all too. Oh well.
That would be as bad as like an evil sorceress turning people in New York into monsters, and we just kill all the people instead of trying to figure out how to save them. We just kill them all.
Just murder them all.
Yeah.
And then like, we had the cure the whole time. Ooh.
Right.
Shh. Just brush that under the rug.
Right.
All right. So tune in next week. More Fantastic Four stories.
Yeah. Hashtag Fantastic Four. Woo!
Bring it back.